Koji had the habit of blowing up early in his run or losing his flow in his run, but he just never quite seemed to get it together. But like you said, so far so good here.
Either that or he was all or none. He would roll in and do 3 or 4 insane combos, lose all of his speed, and spend the rest of his run just doing these crazy lip tricks. But he sort of found his focus again here in 2008. And actually, he just relocated himself. He's the newest resident these days of Camp Woodward out there in central Pennsylvania. So it's definitely going to help him out in the long run. That was an opposite 540 for Koji at the end of the run.
And a regular 542. Very, very few riders in the history of BMX have done 540s both directions invert.
Actually, I take that back. The first one was regular for him, and the second one was opposite. I'm just not used to seeing Koji. Koji learned 540s backwards. That's why it threw me off, so you don't see him do that too much.
Nice double tail whip, gets it around clean, feet right back on the pedals. Koji's got that trick dialed. Turn down flare, clicking the bars all the way, good style for Koji.
That's actually the wrong way for him as well, 85.75, so a great day for Koji Kraft. Glad to see the new and improved version of Koji Kraft, and it's good to see him smiling after his competition runs these days. Jimmy Walker had an excellent first run score, put him in the lead for a while with an 87.75. Catfish kind of teased us a little bit, got him talking about the 900. I don't think he'll throw it here, but we may see some more 540 variations.
Look how high Jimmy is, though, on everything he does. So smooth.
I talked about Koji relocating. Jimmy relocated himself. He moved out of the greater Chicago area, took his vert ramp with him. He's got a ramp very similar to this one. He lives on a horse farm with his wife Christina down in Ocala, Florida, and that's all this guy does. He's out there mowing lawns and riding bikes every single day.
Well, he's mowing the vert ramp right now, too. Check it out. Big carving, invert flare. Back-to-back flares.
That's what he told me. He said, hey, I got to get out and I got to simplify my life. And he's having a lot of fun doing it again with the truck driver 540. That's a bar spin with 1.5 rotations of the bike and body.
Another full pull for Jimmy Walker.
Yeah, pick your highlight reel for here for run 1 or run 2.
That's such good style on the invert. Corkscrew flare from Walker. Back-to-back. Keeps his speed so easy throughout the entire run. And the bar spin 5. Another vert trick not too many guys ever had wired, but Jimmy's got that one in his bag for sure.
Nets him an 88.75 and best his first run score. Steve McCann, remember what happened to this guy in run number 1? Broke the chain right as he was entering the lip of the ramp. See if he can get a rundown.
And Steve is capable of a lot in vert. Threat to the podium every time he rides. And one of the newcomers, last couple seasons in vert, really opening some eyes. He's a park and dirt specialist, and now he can add vert to that list.
Well, it was just a fluky thing that happened to him in run number 1. However, the pressure is on him now. There's no margin for error if he's going to jump up into a podium spot. Double tail whip, very nicely done.
Another Camp Woodward resident. Rides with Jamie and Chad and Robinson, the whole crew up there.
He's got a Jamie Bestwick style to his riding these days, especially when you see him do his flares and his 540. So you think moving to Camp Woodward and riding with those guys helps you out? Just look at Steve McCann's riding style.
Looks like he's going to call it there and play it safe. I know he has a couple of other big tricks. He decided to not do those and go away safe.
But you got to think that he's probably a little sore after the slam that he took jumping straight to the flat bottom. This is a 14-foot tall vert ramp.
Yeah, and I guess you're really not playing it safe with as big as Stevie goes. Should take that back. Huge double tail whip. Big no-handed 540 on the orange bike. He's got to be happy with this run after what happened in his first run.
Yeah, that could have been absolutely disastrous. 89.75. He's not going to walk away with a medal. The best he can hope for. Well, actually, he's going to finish with 4th place right there, bumping Jimmy Walker down to 5th. Chad Kagi right now sitting in 2nd place with a 90.25. We'll see if he can try to jump up and take the lead away from Jamie Bestwick.
And Chad is not afraid to drop the hammer, but he slipped a pedal on that landing, which cost him some speed and already slows him down a little bit.
Check him out, working the height factor back up, and there you go with the flat spin flare whip again. It just under-rotates that one.
And I honestly think, you know, he slipped his pedal on that first landing, and he didn't have the height early in his run or as high as he wanted to go on that flare whip. Even the a mistake early in your run can affect you later on. And he looks high enough there, but he was just rushing to get everything done and around in time to land it.
And he's going to have to throw that run out. The best he can hope for is a silver medal. And Simon Tabron is due up next, and he could jump ahead right now.
Literally just got a place in Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles. Moved in last week. It's definitely something I did for personal reasons, but I think it's going to help me in my riding so much, just being out on the West Coast all the time. All the guys I'm going to get to ride with out there, all my skateboarder friends, all the bike riders out there. Coco Zarita, who's such a good friend of mine. I'm going to ride out on the West Coast with him a heck of a lot, so I'm really excited about that. Like, he and I just feed off each other really, really well. And then just being in the US all the time, there's guys like Chad Kagey's one of my best friends, so I'll get to go hang out with Chad a lot more than I do right now. All the crazy ramps that are out there, I think it can only be a good thing. It's the difference between all the transatlantic traveling I've been doing for years to actually being in the US all the time and able to just hop on a plane to whatever state to ride with whoever, whenever. The weather is going to be so much better than the English drizzle and rain and cold, and I'm definitely looking forward to my first winter in California.
Everybody's moving. Koji moved to Woodward, Jimmy Walker moved to Florida, and now you got Simon Tabron living on the West Coast. What is going on in the world of BMX vert? One guy left to go. Simon Tabron, he's the only one left who can take down Jamie Bestwick. And early on, Simon looked like he bottomed out on one of those setup airs, Steve.
Yeah, just a little bit of a bottom air, lost some speed, but gets right back into it with a huge alley-oop 540 no-handed.
So the podium's been determined. The question is, what order are they going to finish him? Simon, I knew with the slip up early in the run, he wasn't going to have enough to take away Jamie Bestwick's score. But it looks like Chad Kagey's silver medal is going to be secure with Simon popping out of the ramp early on. I don't know what was going on there. What do you think? Maybe sizing up back-to-back 900s with how he was trying to pump those huge setup airs?
I think he knew after he bottomed that one wall that he just wasn't going to be able to get back and do everything he wanted to in his run to really threaten Chad or Jamie. So why not call it? He rides home safe.
Yeah, safety first. You see his body language. He got on the deck and looked across, I believe, at Chad Kagey like, what happened?
That is so huge. Simon has the alley-oop 5s wired, takes his hand off for some extra difficulty. Turn down 540, clicks it all the way. Perfect style from Simon.
So Simon throwing that one out. He's going to walk away with a bronze medal. Chad Kagey is safe with his first run score of 90.25. That's going to give him the silver, and that means yet again on the LG Action Sports World Championships of BMX Vert that we are going to see a glory run out of Jamie Bestwick. It's almost getting played out using that term when it comes to this guy, but hey, when you're this good, it happens time and time again. I said it earlier, the most dominant vert rider in BMX these days. And here we go. He's just going to lay it all on the line for the fans here inside Key Arena.
He's used to doing these, Jimmy, but he does not lay up at all. Check out the height. Higher than in his first run.
Giant alley-oop downside tail whip. And again, the downside whips just absolutely blow me away. You don't ever see anyone do that trick that high.
It was an alley-oop regular tail whip to downside whip to X-up flare. I mean, big bangers back-to-back. It's just insane to watch this guy ride. Opposite turn down flare. It's crazy.
I mean, you watch the things this guy does in his run, and it's impressive enough, but then you actually have to stop and think, wait a minute, how many of these tricks did he actually invent? How many of these tricks have we actually seen him unleash at major competitions over the last 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, it's truly amazing, and we're hoping for the day Jamie's got some of those secret tricks in his bag we've never seen, so let's hope we see him in 2009.
So there you go, your 2008 LG Action Sports World Champion of BMX Vert. Taking a look at some highlights here from run number 2.
Massive opposite turn down flare. Nobody does that but Jamie.
And that one was fully clicked. He gets a 92.50. Even his second run score was still enough to beat the rest of the field. That officially wraps it up for the vert competition. Congratulations to Simon Tabron taking the bronze, Chad Kagey adding another silver medal, and how about Jamie Bestwick taking home his 5th gold medal in the 6-year history of this event.
Jamie, 2008 has been your season. It's been your year. How does this feel to end it like this?
It feels great, you know. These events have always been a lot of fun for the riders, and Seattle has been one of the greatest hosts we've had on this ASA World Tour. It's a lot of fun, you know. Just anybody who